School districts are hiring foreign teachers to fill classroom openings. South Dakota News Watch reporter Bart Fancook tonight breaks down the shortage and how foreign educators are filling the gap.
In an attempt to alleviate a stubborn shortage of teachers, nearly half of South Dakota school districts now employ international teachers who arrive on visa programs with strong academic backgrounds and extensive classroom experience. The State Department of Education says about 450 international teachers from the Philippines, Colombia, and China are classroom certified in South Dakota. The state saw a record 138 new certificates issued to international teachers in the 2023-24 school year. DOE Secretary Joseph Graves says that the state welcomes the international teachers as a way to fill the hundreds of teacher openings, especially in rural areas where recruiting teachers is a challenge. Administrators tell Newswatch that the international teachers generally arrive with excellent English skills, good attitudes, strong work ethics, and extensive credentials. One Filipino special education teacher in the Crow Creek Tribal School in Stefan, South Dakota, arrived in the fall with a bachelor's, master, and 2 doctorates in education and curriculum. Crow Creek Superintendent Rob Coverdale says bringing in international teachers is time-consuming and expensive, but is well worth the hassle and cost.
Yes, from top to bottom, we've been very pleased with the results. We've been very pleased with their effort, their attitudes. They're always looking to see what they can do to help our kids.
Teachers come to South Dakota on either the J-1 or HB-1 non-immigrant visa programs that allow them to stay 5 years or more. The teachers must become state certified to teach in South Dakota and undergo background checks, among other requirements. Local school officials say the international teachers integrate well and are generally supported by the students, parents, and residents where they work. Many also bring a dose of multiculturalism to the schools and the communities in which they live. For South Dakota News Watch, I'm Bart Fancook.